everybody, it's Marie from Pear Tree Paper Crafts. I'm back today with a 12x12 process video for you. This one is for Lottie Loves Paper, so it does count as an advert because I'm using the indigo and blue kit. I am scrapping a photograph of my little boy. We were down on the beach when he was younger, and it was one of his first experiences down on the beach, and he was always fascinated with the sand and what it did when you ran your fingers through it, and he sat there for hours just playing with it and rubbing it through his fingers. So that's what he's doing there. He's kind of staring down at the sand. What I've done is I've used some of the 12x12 papers from the kit, that sort of woody effect paper there and the stripy one. I've cut an inch off of each side of that, and then I've cut inch strips of paper from that stripy one, which is pink paisley, indigo and ivy paper, as is the wood paper I'm using. And then I've used some dark blue strips from my stash, just because I wanted a darker edge there. I wanted something contrasting at the edge. So there's just 1/4 of an inch of each of those papers running down the sides. So there's my photo, and now what I'm doing is just deciding how I'm going to map the photograph. And I choose a few different papers. I don't want a very large border around this photograph. I don't want the border to take over, but I want something to tie in the photograph with the rest of the layout and with those papers that I've used at the edge. So I decided to use 3 layers, the 2 from the edges and then another of the wood, because I also bought the 6x6 paper pad from Indigo and Ivy to go along with my kit. So I'm just matting them there using plenty of double-sided sticky tape. I first of all go for that wood effect paper, and then I go for this stripy one. I don't mat them straight, I do mat them just wonkied off ever so slightly, because I do like that kind of not perfect look. And then I pop it on the blue. The blue really makes it kind of jump off the page, which I liked the effect of. So that's what I wanted to get out of using that darker blue. Like I say, that one's not in the kit. I just needed something that was going to make it stand out. So I'm just using some adhesive foam here so that there is a bit of dimension on my layout. I don't think I'll stick it down straight away. I think I play with my embellishments first. Now, I've seen this idea done quite a bit. I was inspired by one of the scrap lifts over on Scrap Squad, and I've seen quite a few pink paisley layouts floating about using lots and lots of these sentiment strips, if you like, in different ways. So I've mixed up the chipboard ones and the acetate ones, and I've picked out all the ones that I had left that were in blue colours, because there are some in the packs that are greens and purples, and I just wanted this to be blue. So right, I'm choosing to stick down my photograph now, just making sure it's straight. Because it's straight, I want to make sure it is definitely straight, because there is only that one photograph going on. And now I'm just using wet glue to stick down these little phrases. There's lots of lovely sentiments on these phrases, and I'm just making sure that they are perfectly straight before moving on to the next one. And I did want to sort of alternate them, so I've got the acetate ones between the chipboard ones. The acetate ones are quite tricky to stick down, and I don't have the best way, but I do find it works perfectly well. I have just used the tiniest bit of wet glue on either end of those sentiment strips to make sure that they stick down, but then there's not a big kind of blob of glue behind them. So they just go down that left hand side there, deliberately not straight, sort of deliberately starting in different places. And then I loved these blue flowers. Again, they fit perfectly with the layout, so I decided to pop those just behind that top corner. I did like that frame as well, but I decided to only use a little bit of it at the bottom. And then I liked that little phrase there where it says happiness on it. I did also like that beautiful. I did contemplate putting that down the side, but then in the end I take that back off again. Now ordinarily I would use a white cardstock as my background. It is my go-to background, but because I've used patterned papers all the way through, I've chosen not to do any mixed media here, and I'm just embellishing instead, so using those frames and the flowers, but not actually putting any mixed media behind. I suppose I could have done, but I think there's enough there to be looking at. And I wanted to just sort of demonstrate how you can use the kit without needing to add hardly anything else to it really, and build a beautiful layout. So that happiness just goes on that corner, and I do want to know about that word beautiful, but in the end I don't pop it on. It's it just doesn't quite fit with what I'm trying to do. And then I do go through the cardstock stickers and try and make my mind up as to whether I want anything else on the layout or not. I do find a few more little word phrases. I move stickers, put them back again. I am a fiddler. I think in the end, yeah, that little one there goes down at that bottom right hand corner. And I do pop a tag under that happiness sticker just to add a bit more to that bottom corner. And a couple of the little phrasey stickers as well. You'll see what they say if you have a little look at the close-ups when they come up at the end, which is not far off, because this was a very simple one. It came together very, very quickly. All I'm doing now is adding a little bit of twine onto that tag and feeding it around the picture so that it kind of winds its way and you can follow where it's going. And that's my layout. Thank you ever so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it and I hope it inspires you to create a layout of your own. Please like this video if you enjoyed what you saw, and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you again very soon. Thanks for watching.